Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. Now on my channel I often have a look at extremely lucky players, really rare drops, stuff like that, and that can be really fun to do, albeit maybe a little bit frustrating. So to even the playing field and to make you guys feel better, I'm going to be doing the opposite today. We're going to have a look at the unluckiest players or players with the longest dry streaks in OSRS history. Now this is part 2, so if you think I'm missing anything here, it may have already been covered in a previous video. Now for all of these players, I'm going to be calculating the percent chance of them not having at least one drop at the kill count that they're at. We're going to loosely be ordering them based on that percentage, but obviously I'm going to be taking into account other factors. The main other factor being the total time of the grind, how long it takes to get kills somewhere, is going to affect their placement. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and let's get started. Now to start us off here, we have a player by the name of the Geezer, who has been trying their darndest to get the Chaos Elemental pet. Now at first glance it doesn't actually look like a lot of kills for a pet grind, but the Chaos Elemental pet is actually much more common than pretty much any other PvM pet in the entire game. The Chaos Elemental pet drops at a rate of 1 out of 300, and this poor soul has killed 1,415 of them already. And for those who've killed the Chaos Elemental, it's not a very fun boss, and it is located extremely deep in the wilderness, making it pretty high risk as well. Now the chance of them going this dry at 1,415 kills is around 0.89%, so just a tad less than 1 out of 100. And this could actually potentially be even more dry just because of the fact that the Chaos Elemental pet comes from other bosses as well. Well, let's hope you get it eventually. Okay, next up here we have another pet grind kind of gone wrong, and that is a player who is grinding out Herbivore. Now luckily in this picture we can see that they actually got the pet, but this poor soul managed to track 31,000 Herbivore before getting the pet. Now that sounds like a ridiculous amount, and it definitely is, but Herbivore is quick and the drop rate for the pet is 1 out of 6,500. So the chance of this player going this dry at 31,010 Herbivore kills is about 0.847%, again just kind of shy of 1%. At least in this case they're getting a fair bit of hunter experience, so hopefully that was worth it. Okay, next up here we have a player by the name of Zachagawea, who at the time of this picture being sent to me was actually rank 1 Sarachnis, and unfortunately no pet. Now it's pretty impressive to be the number 1 Sarachnis killer and still be that dry of the pet. Now currently they're in the number 2 spot with 17,800 kills, but when the image was sent to me they had just breached 16,000. Which is an absolutely insane amount of kills considering the Sarachnis pet is only 1 out of 3k, which means this player had about a 0.48% chance of going this dry, which is about 1 in 200, which I guess doesn't sound as bad, but literally nobody else has this many kills, so it's pretty unlucky considering how rare this high of a kill count is. Now next up here we have another very unfortunate player by the name of Shewdoh, who is actually grinding out the Callisto pet. Now at the time this image was sent to me, they had a very clean kill count of 11,000. Look how many of the other drops they've gotten: 22 Tyrannical Rings, well 69 Dragon Pickaxes could be from a multitude of monsters, but still that is so many. That is like 350 mil just in Dragon Pickaxes. Now the drop rate of the pet is 1 out of 2,000 and they've killed 11,000. Let's take a minute to think how long it must have taken to kill that many Callistos. It's already a fairly slow boss, but you also have to deal with PKers and just the wilderness in general. Now unfortunately they only had around a 0.4% chance of going that dry. However, at the very least it looks like they're making a lot of money, so it's not all for nothing. Now next up here we have one of the first non-pet grinds of the list. I've stuck to pets for the majority of these just because PvM drops on the collection log can be fooled. If you got a ton of kills and a ton of drops before the collection log came out, they won't show up, but your kill count will register, which is not going to be accurate. However, in this case, we can see that they got roughly the correct amount of other drops, which means that this is most likely correct. Now in this case, this player was grinding out for the Hydro Claw and for the Dragon Hunter Lance. The player by the name of NotAnFeMan. Now especially for an Ironman, by far the most important drop here is going to be the Hydro Claw because the Dragon Hunter Lance is so useful in so many different places. So realistically, that is the main grind from Hydra. Now unfortunately, they have killed 8,112 of them so far, and still no Hydro Claw, which is extremely unlucky because the Hydro Claw drops at a rate of 1 to the 1,001, which is very unfortunate. The chance of a player going this dry for the Hydro Claw is around 0.244%, which is very unfortunate. At least they're making a ton of money though. Now next up here we have another extremely unfortunate Ironman by the name of Iron Wolf 2, who is going extremely dry at another very important PVM grind. This player has killed 1700 demonic gorillas and did not manage to receive a single Zenyte shard. They did eventually get one at around 2100 kills, but that is still so unlucky. Imagine killing that many demonic gorillas, that must be hell. The Zenyte shards really are not supposed to be that rare. They're only a drop rate of 1 out of 300, so they're fairly common, which means this player had a 0.09% chance of going this dry of a Zenyte, which is roughly a fraction of about 1 out of 1100. Poor guy, considering the fact that you don't need one, you realistically need 3 of them, so at this rate they might be killing 10,000 before they get the full set. My condolences. Now coming in at the number 4 spot is once again another Ironman, and another really long PVM grind. I guess no one else would really have the patience to do this. Ironmen have to, so they don't have a choice. But yeah, no one would do 4,189 kills at Zulrah with a rune crossbow. That must have been so painful with a rune crossbow. The kill times would be way slower, making this nearly 4,200 kill count grind even more impressive than it looks. Now this grind is actually kind of insane. Josh IRL finally got the Tanzanite Fang at kill count 4,189, which means they had a 0.027% chance of going that dry for arguably the most important item in the entire game, which as a fraction is around 1 out of 3,600. A very painful image to look at. Hopefully everyone is okay, but I'm glad you got it and your dedication is insane. Man, this is painful to look at. Next up here we have another Ironman account by the name of Happy1RS, and who is once again going for another pretty iconic PVM grind, but kind of got held up on the primordial boots. Now they're not really dry overall at the boss, although they haven't gotten a pet, which is a bit unfortunate. But look at their spread of items. They got 12 Eternal Crystals, 12 Pegasian Crystals, but they did not get a single Primordial Crystal until kill count 4,498. The individual drop rate for all of these crystals is 1 of the 512, so that is extremely unlucky not to get at least one of each of them before this kill count. Not to mention that Primordials are extremely useful, and the most valuable crystal to boot. Now the chance of going this dry at Cerberus after 4,500 kills pretty much is 0.015%. In a fractional term, it's a rate of 1 to the 6,600, which actually makes this entry the least lucky on the list. So why is it at the number 3 spot? Mainly has to do with the fact that Cerberus is quick to kill, and overall at the boss they didn't really get that unlucky. Now next up here, coming in at the number 2 spot, a player by the name of 48 Hour, who is rank 1 for Commander Ziliana. That is really impressive because killing the Saradomin boss is not that quick. Now they have 20,606 kills at Ziliana, and unfortunately no pet. Now there's no denying that this is extremely unlucky, however the chance of going that dry is actually only 1.6%, which is quite a bit higher than some of these other ones. But taking into account everything here, the amount of kills per hour we can get at Saradomin, and the sheer dedication, and the fact that they are rank 1 with no pet, I think this bumps us up to the number 2 spot. Like, consider how many hours it would take to get that kill count. In the email they sent me, they said they've been working on it for multiple years. And if on average you're only getting around 10 kills an hour in the solo, that's over 2,000 hours just on this grind alone. Impressive dedication. I hope this video is good luck to you, so good luck. And finally here, coming in at the number 1 spot, is none other than Kacy's Bloodhound Pet grind. Now Kacy has probably one of the most famous grinds in OSRS history, and one of the slowest ones as well. Now they were grinding up for the Bloodhound Pet, which from a Master Clue drops at a rate of 1 out of 1,000, and they didn't get it until Master Clue 6,210, which means the chance of them going that dry is about 0.2%. So again, less than a lot of the other ones on this list, but we gotta take into account the other factors here. Completing Master Clues is extremely slow. It took Kacy years to complete this grind, and an absolute ton of hours put into it as well. Not to mention how much it costed as well. While Kacy was donated a ton of implings to try to finish off this grind, I think it raked up into the billions. Kacy completed so many Master Clues that they have 3 times the next highest rank in the high scores. Kacy at 6,200, the next highest rank one at 2,180. That is so insane, I cannot believe it. Such a big difference and such a huge dedication to a grind, and I'm so glad they eventually got it. Anyway guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, this is part 2, so if you think I missed anyone, it's most likely in the other video. If you ever want to submit any images for either of my ongoing series, rarest drops, unluckiest players, stuff like that, join my Discord and pop it into the video submission channel. And whenever I go to make one of these videos, I'll look through there and I might pick one of your images. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Before I go, I just want to give a special thank you to Heathen Lock Games and the rest of my YouTube members over on YouTube. I really do appreciate your support. If you are looking for another way to support the channel, becoming a YouTube member is an excellent way to do it, and by doing so you'll unlock a couple of different perks, including a custom role in my Discord channel, access to my video release schedule, and being mentioned in my YouTube videos. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.